I'm Aaron Bartuska, and welcome to Make More Movies, a split-tooth podcast where I ask DIY filmmakers what keeps them creating. This week we'll be talking to Aidan Cronin, a graduate from Ithaca College's film program who is getting ready to release his debut feature, The Birds Tell Me All There Is to Know. This film comes on the heels of 4 short films Aidan made over the past 8 years, each one a unique conversation with the answerless obstacles, questions, and elements of the human experience. When Aidan isn't making films, he works as a programmer and director of the Ithaca Experimental Film Festival, which he co-founded. During our chat, Aidan and I get into the dangers of doom scrolling, our anxieties about getting older, and how you can elevate your film work by experimenting in other artistic mediums. Give it a listen. You want to tell the people back home how we met? Or do you want me to tell it, or what?
Our good pal Brian Radigan hosts a series of short film screenings in Manhattan. This one was at Alamo, and I played a trailer of your movie, Yardley Boys, which is an awesome movie that everyone should see if they haven't already. It rocks.
Thank you, Aidan. Thank you.
And yeah, you screened a short film there. That was Amity.
The silliest short.
I think it's awesome. It's so sick.
You. Yeah, Amityville Cold Store.
Yeah, so I met you there. We had a beer and a nice chat about movies, and then I was doing a screening of my first feature like 2 weeks later, and I was like, you guys should come, and you guys came.
It was half like, there's always someone comes up to you and they're like, first of all, you like went out of your way to talk to us for like a while. Like I could tell it just wasn't like one of those performative like, oh yeah, like we were talking and chilling for a while and we could automatically tell like you were like I don't know. You were just like not like doing the thing that so many people do when they're trying to.
The thing is stupid.
The thing sucks.
It's like, guys, we're here because we like this stuff. Let's enjoy this stuff.
Right. Sometimes I like catch myself doing the thing, and I'm like, why am I doing this? What?
Yeah.
And usually, if you're somewhere where you feel like you have to do the thing,
right,
then you probably are in the wrong place. The thing, for people who are wondering, is like kind of, I don't know, just doing the telemarketer, telemarketer pitch of yourself. Yeah. And like Aidan, like to your credit, you just came up and were just like, it felt like we had known each other for years. And so when you invited me to the thing, I mean, I think I did do a little bit of like the Instagram stalking and whatever, and saw some of your other stuff, and it looked not how a lot of people's stuff looked. It looked like you had like a really distinct voice and like goal with your work. And so that's part of the reason why. I mean, we probably would have come anyway and then just not really said anything if the film sucked.
Right.
But it didn't suck. So, and I want to get into that down the line. Not only did it not suck, it's actually my favorite film of 2025, if it ends up being a 2025 movie, which we'll get into down the line. But I saw it in 2025, so it's at the top of my 2025 list. But Aidan, you've made 4 short films and 1 feature film now. I'm right about that, right? Those numbers?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably. That sounds right. Yeah.
Okay, I've got Macaroni Serenade in 2017.
Okay, sure.
Till the End of Time in 2020. There is a Hole in the Ground in 2022. I Don't Fight the Dark as Well as I Used to in 2023, and then your feature debut, The Birds Tell Me All There Is to Know in 2025.
You got it down, man. You got it down better than me. Yeah, that tracks.
And now the most pressing question, Aidan, that I have to ask is, all 4 of your short films gain at least 1 to 4 words per title. I'm wondering if you're going to stick to that with your features, where your next film is going to be 13
My last movie is just a novel. Long. It's just a novel of words that you have to tell the guy at the box office.
They're not even going to be able to fit any of it on the ticket.
You need like a whole stack of index cards to remember what movie you're seeing.
What is it about the long title that appeals to you?
I like poetry. I read a lot of poetry, and a lot of my shorts and features like start as poems. Yeah, I think that's, and I don't know, they like evoke a certain feeling that I'm like, yeah, I don't know how to explain what this movie is, but this title is kind of in the emotion of that, I think.
Are these titles pulled specifically from like something you wrote in the development or pre-production stage, or is it something that you come up with once you've watched the cut and it just like comes to you?
I think it's like it's a bit all different. Some of them are like very like taken directly from like a poem I've written, or some of them I kind of just figure out at the very end, and like sometimes they were things that I wrote down near the beginning, and sometimes they're not. The Birds Tell Me All There Is to Know was kind of on like off of like a Charles Bukowski poem where he's talking about his cats, and he's like, I forget the exact wordings, but it's like, the cats tell me like without effort, like everything there is to know, kind of. Not that directly, but
so you totally just shoplifted
I just shoplifted that. Yeah, that's fully stolen.
Cats, birds, you know. You watch a lot of movies, you spearhead a lot of people's work. You like to spread the word. I mean, just the fact that you go to dark room even when your film's not in the lineup, right? And you run this festival and work for other festivals, that it seems like as much as you want to be your own creator, you are also, you have just as much stake in getting other people's work seen.
Yeah, no, definitely. I feel like we both know how hard it is to make a movie, and like that should be celebrated. Like when people make something and it should be received. I don't know. It just like makes sense, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy talking to people who make things and like who put something out there to be received. And then you receive it, and it's like there's like this oneness with it all. And
I mean, I think the most appealing thing about grinding and like going to screenings and meeting people and doing the thing is that sense of community. And you know, at the end of the day, we're just trying to get people to care about what we say, or what we can't say, but we show through our art. Right?
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like for like living in Brooklyn for like 4 years now, I take for granted like how accessible conversations with artists are. Like I remember when I went to college, I met the first person who like knew who Wes Anderson was. Like no one at my school in high school knew who Wes Anderson. I was like, you know Wes Anderson? Like you're the nichest person I know. And now it's like, oh, you like Wes Anderson? Oh, look at, you know, you're so mainstream. Like, here's this like indie director from, you know, Yugoslavia who did a 4-hour, like you don't know this guy. And I don't know.
I feel like that's the problem with Brooklyn Q&As too. I feel like everyone always acts like they don't want to be doing a Q&A.
Yeah, it's Brooklyn. The cool thing. It's the cool thing. I don't get it.
I'm like, you made a film that people are watched, and now they want to hear why you did it. Like, why are you acting cooler than this?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
And
that's what was so refreshing about meeting you. It was like you just didn't have any of that.
You guys too. Your Q&A. I was like, oh, these guys make movies. Like they're making movies. Like it's you know, yeah.
We all are, and I don't know why any of us are pretending like, oh yeah, I made this thing and like whatever. It's like, I mean, sure, I guess like I've made things that I'm not like super stoked about, but like even if I don't like the thing, I feel like I'm gonna still have enthusiasm about the process and that other people are giving it the time of day.
Yeah, you have a lot of energy. You like, I don't know how you made like 5 feature, like I feel like, because now I'm thinking about, and you know what, maybe I have been like the slouchy, like bent over, like
no, this is not what this podcast is about.
I think like, no, I think you get tired, man. I think it's like, oh fuck.
You do get tired. So actually that's a great thing to move on to, because like, even though like everyone gets this filmmaker burnout, right? But you've been pretty consistent. I think one of the most impressive things is like, well, I guess one of the most daunting things has been seeing the drop off of output from people I know post film school. And like you did your first 2 projects in film school, and then the 3 that followed, the 2 shorts and the feature, which I would consider, I've said this to you before, your best work, but also like the official Aidan Cronin like canon. Like these 2 short films and your feature all feel intensely in conversation with one another. Like you've kept at it. So like, I guess, how do you push back against that burnout?
The very like unromantic take of it is it's fueled by like depression pushing you down and anxiety like two-folding you forward. So it's like a one step back, two step forward of like, I don't know, I feel like I've fallen into patterns where like I'll kind of just like doom scroll, or like I'll just be so burnt out with work, I'll just be doing nothing. And then by the end of that week, I'm like, oh, I'm exhausted, I did nothing. And I've had other weeks where I'm like doing all that work and then doing other project stuff. And at the end of the week, I'm like, oh, I'm exhausted, but I did this thing. And I feel like that's just like the realization of like, I don't know, I could be burnt out from doing nothing, or I could be burnt out from doing something. I'm going to try my best to always be burnt out from doing something, because then I could look back and be like, oh, I made this. And then also you kind of have memories attached to things that you make, and it's like, oh, you know what? Like, this was actually like a really beautiful time in my life, and like these people and their stories that I know in my life are encapsulated here, and like I'm so glad I did that, and like I'm going to keep doing that, and I'm going to have all these like mile markers, and I'm going to champion my friends and the people I like to keep making things and doing things and seeing them change and evolve as people through their work and like influence other people's work. And of course, like with making work, it's so that it is received by other people, and there is like this connection. You'll feel like a resurgence and a refuel from like watching something, you know, or like even music. I saw Oasis this weekend. I'm going to be like riding the Oasis high.
Bastard.
Like, I'm like, holy shit. Art is beautiful. Music is beautiful. Like all these people were brought together and everyone's singing, and it's like, I don't know, you have that experience with a movie too. Like I watched like Robert Altman's The Long Goodbye, and I'm like, holy crap, I gotta make a private investigator movie. Like, how can I make a movie like, oh, this guy's so funny, but it's sentimental, and it's like, I recognize this person, you know, like that's like my favorite thing, when you like really get to know a filmmaker as if you've known them for years and you've never met them, you know.
Right, and you can grow with that filmmaker too. I think that's been my biggest driving force, just to try to keep creating, is that I'm scared to not have any phase of my life documented. Right? It's like I hate that, like, I mean, yeah, I have my films I made with my cousin, super cheap, when I was like 9, my Friday the 13th ripoff knockoff film and stuff like that. But like, I think, you know, I want to have I want to always have a time capsule of any point in my life that I'm at. And it seems like you too are, I mean, I guess your stuff is maybe a little less autobiographical. I think, yeah, all of your films deal with older characters. I'm not going to say they're not autobiographical, because they are obviously about you and your anxieties and all this stuff, but you approach them from almost any age aside from your own in your short films. And then kind of in the new one is the first time you've let yourself, it starts off, and I don't want to go too deep into spoilers because this movie doesn't exist yet, but it starts off 45 minutes of you doing what you've done in your short films, and then kind of pulls the rug out. And then it's basically like, I would say a surrogate you. It's around the same age that you are, maybe a little younger.
Those short films that I did that revolved around older characters was like a lot of like cathartic processing of my grandmother's Parkinson's and then my grandfather's dementia. And I think that was like kind of a default thought in my head. There's all this noise, all this chatter, and there's like a moment of silence. Like my brain goes back to this and struggling to kind of process it. I don't know. It's like a twofold thing of like, I love doing this movie right now because I could never get the like verbal release, or like, I don't know, there's like so much bottled up in me that I don't even fully understand, that I'm going to put into this and I'm going to release it, and I'll look back and I'll learn a lot about myself, and I'll have a documentation of those loved ones I have at this phase and like my family's connection to it. But it's also the thing of like, I'm going through this honest, vulnerable struggle, and I'm going to be as honest with it as I can so that someone else can feel it. not that everyone else will feel it, but it's like, I don't know, back to this like human oneness of like, if we're all very vulnerable and honest in our work, I don't know, humans aren't that different. Like they're very different, but they're not very, very different. That someone is bound to like connect with it and be like, oh damn, I couldn't figure out the words to express that feeling, but this film captures it. And like I felt that like watching films too, and you know, yeah, I guess that was a very runaround answer of why there's a lot of old people in my in my movies. Yeah,
but I even a couple things. First of all, I love that you avoid where you essentially are like, yeah, this is what I'm going through from my perspective. You always avoid that pitfall and go for no, let me try to, like, it shows that you're an empathetic filmmaker because you're like, no, let me try to see this from the perspective of the person who's actually experiencing it. And
I think I don't know if
you do.
It might be more out of like a fear. It might be like a fear of like, oh, if I do that, that's too real. That feels too real. But if I build them as this character, then it's like, I don't know. I could almost like let the reins go, and because you watch like certain film, like you watch like, I don't know if you ever seen Jack Dunphy's shorts.
I don't think so.
He's like so vulnerable and like honest with his own like perspective, throwing that complete vulnerable honesty out for other people to accept it or judge you by it, and then kind of just relinquishing control. Like, but it's like people like that are so like inspiring of like, oh, people are being honest, people are being vulnerable right now, and it's like really exciting and it's invigorating to absorb.
We also made the joke last time we talked about you kind of like Benjamin buttoning your career, and just like whenever you get older, you're going to make films about younger and younger people. And then you'll be like 80 and making.
It's not the worst idea, Aaron. It's not the worst idea. I might have to hold you to that as like the longest running bit of my life.
We'll see. Talk to me when you're 80.
Yeah.
I also think it's just so inspiring how you approach. I mean, and I don't know if you still do this, but your track record shows that you've DP'd on a ton of projects, you've composed a ton of projects, you've produced a ton of projects. You've got this communal thing with Phil, who did I'm at Home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same Phil?
Yeah.
And then Dez was the other name?
Yeah. Visions of Waves and Getting to Know You Again.
Yes. It just feels like it throws me back to like, you know, when David Lowery would boom up a Swanberg movie, right? Or like, and now he's out like directing Disney movies. But it's like it's that just like need to be on a set doing whatever you can do for your friends.
It's fun. I don't know. Like I feel like I need to do it. Otherwise I'm just doom scrolling. You know, I don't know.
What's the last set you were on?
The last set I was on, I think it was my feature.
Nice.
I think it was. Yeah.
Have you made any headway in getting that in front of people? Because I mean, I know once this article comes out, I plan on giving you a glowing write-up, and I feel like people are gonna want to see it. So
there's nothing
how's that
yet.
going?
It's like you just kind of throw it into the ether, and like you're like, I'll sink the $2,000 into Film Freeway, and if it's taken, it's taken. If it's not, like I'm kind of, I don't know. It is what it is. I like the movie. Like talking about my most recent, like I like it. Like I'll watch it back, and like usually I don't feel that with something I make. So I had talked to people, and they were like, you know, like you could cut, like there's a 90-minute film in here that's like really, like you'd have better luck shopping that. And I'm like,
hey, Aidan, fuck those people. They don't know what they're talking about.
No, but they do.
If you cut a second of it, then it's dropping down my list below like
no,
below
but
Sinners.
I don't want to cut. You know, like I don't want to cut it. I mean, they're looking out because like that's just like the truth of it. It's just like, you know, who's this guy? Who's he think he is making like a 2-hour movie? Who's this bozo? And it's like, you know, like that's kind of, you know, I don't know. I appreciate those people because they're being real. They're being real too, and they're like,
they are being real, but they're also looking at it from a business perspective. Which, yes, if we want to get our stuff out there, is important. But also, it's like the antithesis of everything that I think you are interested in and I'm interested in. It's like, yeah, it would be nice to one day make money off of our films, but I don't think your instincts align with, you know, what you shot the thing on tape. Like, it's never going to be on Netflix. That's not your goal.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a weird line where it's like, I want to like be cognizant and respect the audience and their time and like it's weird 'cause, like, what I anticipate they'll feel, but I also want to stay true to my own emotions. But there's also an awareness that, like, I'm a person who watches a lot of shit, you know? Like, I'll sit and watch a shot for, like, 2 minutes of, like, a tree, and I'll be like, dude, this is fucking crazy. But I know that, like, the more I go into that version of myself, the less widespread I can go with it, you know? Like, where it's like, I don't know. I almost want people to stumble into this movie and, like, get tricked that they're going to that part of me, you know? But there's like a setup to it of like, okay, I do have to follow some convention rules, and then I could hide my movie within it. At least I think. I don't know.
I think you've got a perfect cut of your film right now.
No, I like it. I'm not touching the movie, and that's why I'm like, I'll send it out. Like, I'd be pumped, like, to see it in a theater. I want people to see it, but also, like, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Like, maybe, I don't know. Maybe someone will be in a VHS store. Maybe VHS will make a revival in this version of the future. Maybe they'll be in a VHS store and they'll stumble upon it. They'll be like, what is this movie? And they'll make a TikTok and be like, there's this movie about birds. And then it will blow up. And
There was this guy on TikTok who found like an unmarked VHS tape at a thrift shop, and like,
yeah,
but it was like a pre-planned, like, I don't, why am I going down this?
That's how Harmony Korine was gonna distribute Trash Humpers, and then the producers were like, dude, I'm gonna be so broke if you do that. So he couldn't do it. And cut to
like a decade later, and now I own Trash Humpers on VHS. It's like,
there you go.
He was right. I'm wondering how, like, it is daunting. You said sinking the $2,000 into Film Freeway. Like, it is daunting. I made the mistake of going through my archived submissions. I always archive the ones that I don't get selected for.
Oh, you do?
And I made the mistake of going through and being like, clicking on this, $40, $60. Like, I wonder how much. I didn't add it together, but it's got to be like across my films, like $5,000 or $6,000 that I've spent on not getting into festivals, which is very funny. But I guess I'm just wondering how your experience as a programmer has incited how you have approached submitting your shorts. I don't really know their festival background, but submitting your shorts, submitting this feature, like, how has it incited that?
I guess, like, from the boring, like, technical premiere status thing, like, it's made me a little more careful of, like, where I'm sending to but also, like, having programmed some stuff, just realizing that if it doesn't get in, it's not because it's not a good movie. Like, every time I program, it's like, holy shit, these all are really good, and it's like, it just doesn't fit with the curation, or it, like, doesn't fit with the festival, and, like, just realizing that and truly knowing that makes it easier, and makes it easier to trust myself of, like, oh, I like this movie, it is what it is, you know, and trying not to be, like, in a Vimeo analytic wormhole of, like, oh, this someone in, like, I don't know, Santa Fe, New Mexico watched 32 minutes of
see the location.
It's like, let me see what happened at 32 minutes. It's like, all right, I gotta get out of this. Let me just start writing something.
It's so real. I did, I mean, I've been there too. Even today I got probably one of the nicest festival rejection emails I've ever gotten. It was
I think we both did.
From Eric Hatch.
Yeah, what a lovely man. What a lovely
Eric
gentleman.
Hatch at the new dude. We both got rejected from him in the same day. That's awesome.
That's great. Listen,
New Next Film Festival. This isn't like, we're not trash talking him. So I
this is like the coolest festival, right? Like it's a lot of fun, and Eric is like an incredible curator. I went last year, and I just watched movies the whole time. It's incredible.
No, yeah. I mean, I've never been, but I know a lot of films I like have screened there, and I was just like, you know what, I submitted 2 of my features, and he replied and commented on both of them and had like positive things to say about both of them, And it's just like, I get that running festivals is hard. Like, I know, and you know much more than me how daunting it can be to send out those emails. But like, just the fact that you're now the third person I've met who has told me, yeah, I submitted a new next and I didn't get in, but like I got the nicest email from this guy, this programmer. And it's like that little bit, it probably honestly takes him like 10 extra hours. So it's probably a lot for him to do all of those. Yeah. But like that little bit means so much to feel like that literally made me be like, okay, I'm going to make another film and submit it here again.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like, cause like the intent, like there's certain festivals that you go to and you're like, is this like a money laundering thing, or who's getting a bag somewhere? Like what's going on? And then you'll go to another festival and you'll just see like the festival director and he's like in every movie and he's just like smiling and you're like, oh, this guy is just doing it because he loves it. And like, that's just infectious. And like, yeah, especially when you like inject that into a community and have like someone spearhead something like that, it just kind of spreads. And then like, you meet a lot of people too. Like so many of my close friends I've met at festivals, and like there's this cool like gravitational pull where like you kind of just find your people at those things, which is nice.
So I guess the reverse of the last question then that I want to ask you is, you know, having been rejected from festivals and having had that experience, how has that incited how you approach programming and you know, do you send rejection emails? Like how like what does that look like, you know?
Yeah, I remember I had this conversation with Phil, who I co-program Ithaca Experimental with. I was like, I don't know. I think we do like a little custom thing, but it's like I feel like people get rejected a lot, and it's like you just got to be like, sorry, this was awesome, but like it didn't fit. And like you don't have to sugarcoat anything. You know, like I'll get like probably a couple more rejection emails this month, and it's like, oh, didn't get in. No, you know, move on to the next. But it is really nice knowing that, I don't know, someone appreciated the work even when I didn't get in, like in an email like that, where they're like, this and this was like really cool. This is gonna find a place. Yeah. Let's stay in touch. Like, looking forward to seeing stuff you make, you know.
Mm-hmm. But you're more of a fan of the Moneyball tactic of just like cut.
No, I don't know.
I'm
I don't know.
Yeah. Do you enjoy programming? Do you enjoy doing the festival side of things?
I do. Yeah, I definitely do. It's just really cool to see what people make. Like, really, like, as plain and simple as that. Like, it gives you, like, a push. Sometimes because you're like, damn, like, they made that? And, like, what am I doing? Like, shit, I should have made that. Or,
oh, like, man, I mean, someone I interviewed for Split Tooth, Mike McCara, made a mumblecore coming-of-age talky indie film that is currently like taking the world by storm, and I'm like, he got there first. It's like, so it's like it, and it's not even like I feel like it used to be disdain. Like I feel like back when I was like in college or fresh out of college, and I was like, the world owes me something. But now it's just like, oh no, he figured it out, and like, good for him, honestly. And there's room for a bunch of people at the table. It's just like when you get called for your reservation, like, you know, it's like it's not a matter of it's been feeling less about like, and maybe this is me being pompous, I don't know, but like I would say the same is true for you. It's been feeling less like if and more like when. And I'm not talking about directing like a Marvel movie, but I'm just saying like something's got to give at some point. I feel like people are gonna watch our stuff and like it at some point. I don't know. Am I jinxing us right now?
Well, I don't know. I feel like I've tried to like relinquish any of that to the best of my ability. Like, still, obviously, like I'm like, damn, it would be really cool if like this played at this. But I don't know. With this last film, I don't know, something changed where like I truly care, but I don't care. You know, like the thing is what it was going to be, and I'm happy with what it is. Not to sound like a hippie, like mumbo jumbo that like the universe will bring it wherever, but it's like, I don't know, I'll do the due diligence of sending it around, but like if it doesn't play anywhere, then like that's okay, because I can make more movies, and then hey, maybe the movie I make 2 movies down the line, like people recognize that, and then they go back to this, or maybe no one ever recognizes it, and that's okay too, because I have all these like pillars and chapters of my life that I can look back on and I can share. And I think there's also like a cool thing to think about of like, when we're gone, we have this like relic of like, oh, this was Aidan Cronin. Like I recognize this person. Like when I saw like Edward Yang, like Yi, I was like, holy shit, like I know this guy. Like I see his humor, like I feel his sadness, I feel his happiness, like I feel his relationship with aging and love, and it's like you could feel like just like a full honesty and vulnerable of like, here, this is something, and like take it or leave it. And like I want to strive to be something like that, you know, where it's just like I'm gonna give it everything I have and be vulnerable with it, and then that's it. Let it be what it's gonna be, kind of thing.
I wish I was more like you. I think sometimes I'm a little more, there is a sort of like need for validation that I would love to shake. But then, you know, you seem more in like the, you know, Van Gogh never sold a painting camp.
No,
right? And like,
because I think I feel like a very similar thing, but I feel like it's like from within me. I'm like, dude, like, why did you shoot that scene? Like if you shot it from there and there, like that would have cut so much better. And like, oh, that line is so cheesy. Like, why you read it? And then like being like, okay, like I've learned a lot, and like, how can I, like, I'm gonna apply that to the next thing I do. But like, I feel like there's always like this self-critic searching for validation that probably will never be validated, you know?
right.
Which maybe that's a little bleak. But I think like that's like what drives a lot of people too. You know, it's like okay, here's the beautiful take on it now. It's like you know, like you could be like, I know I'm capable of making something really good. I'm going to keep pushing myself to do it. I think that's the more palatable, less bleak.
There we go. From bleak to beautiful. No, I do think there is something about the chase, though, too, right? Mm-hmm. It's like getting little, like I was just mentioning, like it's so funny that we both got that email today, but like that, yeah, like legitimately, that email from Eric is probably going to like give me like 2 months of juice, or I don't know. It's so it's so pointless, but every Letterboxd review is like, oh, someone watched my movie, like,
yeah.
This person, odds are they will watch another thing I make, like, you know, and then like you're going and going and going, and like, I don't know, a filmmaker that I know, Bruce Longo, he makes like low budget horror films and set in Philadelphia. Oh, cool. And he just like started making films for his friends essentially, and now he tours with them, and he makes one like every year, and it's just like more and more people join the bandwagon. And he does like a 13-city tour. I was lucky enough to moderate the Q&A for the premiere of his newest film, and it was just like a big party. And I'm like, yeah, this is kind of all this like needs to be. Like, I'm not looking for Kevin Feige to see what I do, right? It's like I guess there's something that I'm chasing and that I always will be chasing. Because, full disclosure, in this past year, more people have seen my work thanks to Split Tooth than probably anyone has ever seen before, right? But that's like, that, for some reason, that's not enough, and it's interesting.
But, I mean, I think that's also, like, what I was saying earlier of, like, the depression will push you back one step, and then it's, like, the anxiety critic being, like, but no, I have to keep going, because like something is gonna come. Like, this matter. What I'm doing matters.
Right.
I don't know.
You keep doubting everything you're saying, and I'm like eating it up. I like it. When I was living in Brooklyn and not teaching, I had this horrible pit in the stomach feeling of like, I'm like purposeless right now. Right. And I don't think even when I forced myself to create, I don't think good art came from that, because that was just like a negative feeling from the get that then like I didn't know how to break out of. Now having taught I'm going into my 4th year of teaching high school film, it almost holds me accountable. Like I tell kids they should be out making stuff every weekend, and then if I'm not doing that, then I'm being a hypocritical asshole. So I think that's sort of where I've gotten my that's my depression pushing me to
yeah, for sure,
to do more. I don't know. I guess how do you stay motivated in we talked about like not like getting lazy, but like how do you have an idea and then you want to make it, but how do you like push yourself to actually do that?
I think I have like me looking at it, I'm like, damn, I take way too long in between movies. Holy crap, like I need to make this like now, like this needs to happen now or it's never gonna happen. And I feel like that has happened before every movie I've made. There's like for the feature, I think it was, I don't remember the exact month, it might have been winter, and I was like, I'm making something June, like start of June, like I'm making a movie. Hopefully I catch up by that time to like have a movie to make by then. I think all artists need deadlines.
So with the feature, you told yourself you were shooting it at this point, and then you had however long to figure everything out in order to shoot it at that time, right?
Yeah.
Is that how you've done your short films too?
Well, most of the short film like were in like a school setting, honestly. So they were like semester projects. And those, like, the deadlines are kind of laid out for you. So they're like,
right,
we have a screening at the end of the semester, like, you're coming with a movie. It's like, all right, I guess I'm coming to this screening with a movie. And then kind of, I don't know, figuring it out from that. I went to film school, like, so going out of film school to being an adult human, there was, like, a lag of, like, yeah, no one's setting deadlines for you. Like, you got to figure this out. Or you don't figure it out, and you're going to resent a lot of things in your life because you never figured it out.
You're gonna doom scroll.
Yeah, you're going to doom scroll, and you're going to wake up. You're going to be 50, driving a Nissan.
Hey,
I don't know why
Nissan,
I'm trashing Nissans. Yeah. I don't know. It just came to my mind.
Hey. No, but I do think there is something. This is actually what the new film that I made is about. That feeling of like, oh yeah, the first 22 years of our life have been incredibly structured, and now we're out here, and what do we do? We basically have to be our own teacher, be our own like calendar keeper. Like otherwise, if we're not holding ourselves accountable, we're not gonna accomplish anything.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still figuring it out. I don't know. I'm like, damn, I'm out of socks. I guess I should have done laundry already, but I didn't. I don't know.
Just turn them inside out.
Yeah.
Aidan, how many of your socks have holes in them right now?
I actually wear these shoes now. I work at a shoe store as one of my jobs, and they're like leather shoes, so I don't have to wear socks with them. And wow, it's great because I'm never like, oh damn, I gotta clean my socks. What a boring. Whoever just listened to, if that made it in the edit, we did a bad job today.
You got a job so that you wouldn't have to wear socks.
I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking on my feet, Aaron.
Literally. Do you have the next thing planned out?
I'm writing some stuff, but I also do like going back to like some of the other like side project stuff. It's fun to do stuff where you don't really know what you're doing wrong. There's too many rules, I know, and it could be like kind of a lot. So like I do a lot of painting. I like compose some music, write some poetry, and like that's like a good like creative reset of like, I'm just doing it. Like, I don't even know this is wrong, but I don't know how it's wrong, and I don't care. And like, that's like, so having some time to do that stuff and like in between films is nice.
Yeah, I think that's something I don't do enough of, is like try to self-express through different mediums. I'm pretty much just like all film, and I feel like sometimes that's a detriment.
Yeah, no, I had a film professor that was like the big takeaway from his class was like synthesizing your work through other mediums. And it's like exercising different parts of your brain and like seeing and feeling things you didn't even know were about that, but were, which is always really fun and freeing.
Can people see your other work in artistic mediums elsewhere?
Not at the moment. I'm looking at, I have like a stack of paintings in the corner of my room in a big plastic bag. I just moved. They're not usually in like a giant bag. But like I don't know.
Do you plan to put them anywhere?
I feel like that's when it starts to suck, because then I'm like, oh, like these have to be part of a show, and then the show like this, oh, like what gallery would do, and then I'm like, all right, let's do something else now. Like this became a job. It's like, so then it's like, all right, I'll open my laptop and write some poetry, and then there's also weeks where like I don't do anything. Like I just work. I come home, like have a beer, watch like an Apple TV show, and go to bed. You know.
Right.
I think the biggest enemy of every artist is rent being due at the first of the month. You know, it's like that just sucks. Like it just spiritually sucks. It's like, oh, I gotta work like 6 days this week. Shit, like I kind of just want to go to bed. And then there's like a realization of like, oh, if I feel tired at 27 right now, fuck man, I'm gonna be tired at 37. And if I'm tired at 47, I'm gonna be fucking pooped. So it's like, all right, like I gotta get the gears in motion. I gotta like, I want to make this thing. I gotta make it. And then there's like the other equation of it, of like this film or this piece of art, like this feels honest and true to me now. And it's like, I want to make that and finish it before I change as a person, and that thing changes too. And then I try to make it into something it wasn't. And I think that was a big part of like the feature that I wanted to do then too, was like a big part of that movie is similar to your film, is like kind of your early 20s and kind of being thrown into the world and having like a little bit of angst and a little bit of confusion and sadness. And I was like 26 and I was like, this feeling is fading. Like I'm moving away from it, but I want to capture what that was for me. So it's like, I got to make this now or I'm not going to make it, kind of thing. Being an artist, it's difficult to be present because you're so stressed and anxious that you're wasting time, and then you're sitting thinking about time, and then you're watching other people make great work. And it's so accessible to watch other people make great work that like it's hard to always harness it correctly, like to be like, okay, I could do this too.
Movies are, making something beautiful out of a big mess. And it's like just the fact that you like your films seem, I don't know, they're simultaneously like something I shouldn't be watching, like a peek into someone's life, but also like so beautifully framed that they had to have been thought out. But now you're saying that like sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. Like it's just like you're always thinking about it, but you're not always shot listing it. It's like you're not doing it in the film school way, It's
weird. I don't know why my brain is the way it is. I don't know why my brain is the way it is. But I've always been like very, I don't know, let's watch this through a doorway. I don't know. Like I watched like a Safdie's movie or like a Sean Price one. And I'm like, oh, they capture this like anxiety of like present anxiety so well. And like I feel it pop up. And I feel like for some reason my work is always drawn to like the other side of anxiety, of like the sitting in nothingness and kind of thinking, or like the stuff going around you but nothing really emotionally hitting you. When you watch a filmmaker's like body of work, you start to recognize the person behind it. And like you watch like Kelly Reichardt and you're like, oh wow, I feel like I know this person. Like I feel like they're putting themselves fully at our disposal, and it's really beautiful.
Yeah, and I think that if people were to watch your work, which they totally should, they will see those through lines and they will start to learn a lot about you. Well, hey man, thanks for taking the time to chat. I love your work. I know other people are going to love it too.
Likewise, my friend.
Let's grab a beer next time I'm up in the city.
Faux show.
I'd like to thank filmmaker Aidan Cronin for sharing his time with us. I'd like to thank Brett and Craig Wright, as well as the entire Split Tooth team, and Will Denola for our music. Finally, I'd like to thank you for giving this episode a listen. Go make more movies. Talk to you soon.